What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. Now, I did a video a couple of days ago talking about the position that I'm most concerned about, which is the running back position. And we just got through talking about this position. We did. We just got through talking about this position. We little over a week away versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the season opener. And we need to get our boys some help. We really do. We need to get our boys some help coming out of the backfield. You know, last year, right before the season started, a week before the season started, we got him some help. We traded for Carlos Hyde. We brought him in. Carlos Hyde had a career year last year and rushed for 1,000 yards. So, first time he ever rushed for 1,000 yards in his career. Now, if you don't know, the Jacksonville Jaguars have released running back Leonard Fournette. Now, let me give you some back history about Leonard Fournette. When the Jags drafted him back in the 2017 draft, I jumped up and clapped when they drafted Leonard Fournette. One, because I was afraid they were going to draft Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. And, of course, I want the Texans to get one of those two. So I did not want him to get drafted by them. And I said this, I said either he's going to be a huge, he's going to be the biggest steal in the draft, or he's going to be the biggest bust in the draft. Now, I was wrong because he was neither. He's neither the biggest steal or the biggest bust. His career has been good but not great, and hasn't been terrible. He hasn't even been the best at his own position. I mean, Chris McCaffrey's in that draft. You got Alvin Kamara in that draft. You got Kareem Hunt in that draft. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dalvin Cook was in that draft as well. And Leonard Fournette went before all of them. He went 4th overall. So, of course, Chris McCaffrey and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing as a rookie. Chris McCaffrey, probably is the best back in the NFL right now. And then we know what Alvin Kamara has done. Especially, we know what Alvin Kamara done down there in New Orleans. And like I said, I think if Dalvin Cook is in that draft, I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if he was or wasn't. But if he was in that draft, Dalvin Cook is a better player than Leonard Fournette. So, he's not even the best in his position, but he's not terrible. And I think it was silly and stupid for the Jacksonville Jaguars to release him because he's not a terrible back at all. And I mean, if you go back and look at his stats last year, I mean, he had 265 carries, rushed for 1,152 yards, 4.3 yards per carry. He only had 3 touchdowns. That's alarming, but only had 1 fumble. And he did some damage out of the backfield. He had 76 catches for 522 yards, averaging 6.9 yards a carry. Remember, he's a big back. He's 6 foot, 228 pounds. So he's a big bruising back. He's a normal, downhill running back. Like, he's a old school blue collar, run the snow, run the rain, you run through the ground type running back. And do I think he can fit with the Houston Texans? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a play that the Houston Texans absolutely make. There shouldn't be no hesitation. Now, I know people I say about character and stuff like that. There's something going on in Jacksonville. Let's just call it spade a spade. There's something terribly going on in Jacksonville. This team was just in the AFC Championship game back in 2017 with a lead against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game back in 2017. Here we are 3 seasons later, and only one person, and I think that's Miles Jack, is left on that team from the 2017 team. Everybody's forcing their way out. So, if everywhere you go, you say it stink, it must be you. If everywhere you go, you have an attitude, somebody has an attitude, somebody disrespecting you, whatever the case may be, you got to look in the mirror and be like, maybe it's me. So I'm like, maybe it's Jacksonville that's the real dysfunction, not the players. I know they were trying to put it off on Dante Fowler and stuff like that, but there's a reason why Ramsey was trying to get up out there. There's a reason why Ngakoue didn't want to sign. It's a reason why guys are acting the way they act, because they want to get up out of Jacksonville. They want to get up out of there. There's a reason for that. And so I think that I don't really think it's a real character issue. I think it's an organization, a dysfunction with them type of issue, and that's the reason why guys want to get out of this. So before y'all start flooding the comments and talking about he's this and he's that, I think that's the problem. Now, when we talk about football, like I said, I'm majorly concerned about this offense when it comes to the running back position, because I don't think that we have a legitimate running back. I hear all the fluff that they tell me about David Johnson. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm really not. I'm not. Now, I think he could be decent as a receiving threat, but as a running back, I'm not buying it. I think Leonard Fournette. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, if we was full-fledged, needed a running back, and we have to pay him free agent type money, like this is the free agency, and he's like a top back, and you got to pay him top of the market value, then nah, I'm not trying to go after Leonard Fournette. But if we picking him up off of waivers, or if we sign him to a small 1-year deal, I have no problem kicking the tires on Leonard Fournette, and especially mixing him in with this offense. For one, this would be the best offense situation he's ever faced in his career. Like, not in his career, in his life. Because he would have never, ever faced less of a loaded box when he be playing in Houston he's ever played in his whole career of football. Not just in Jacksonville, period. Because he's always a guy who's had to have loaded boxes. He's always a guy that's basically been the focal point of the offense. Trust me, I know. Because he did Texas Tech wrong back in the Texas Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 16. I think it was the 2016 Texas Bowl. Like how he ran all over Texas Tech. Like he ran all over Texas Tech in the Texas Bowl back in 2016. So I know. I know from firsthand watching him go up against my squad, like seeing the damage he did when he was at LSU. And you got all the speed with Fuller and Stills and Cooks and stuff like that, all the speed on the outside. Then you have a quarterback like number 4 out there. A defense cannot afford to load the box. In Jacksonville, because he was the focal point of the offense since he got drafted, Jacksonville gave him a bunch of carries. Like, it would be games that Leonard Fournette had 35 carries in a game. Like, constantly. He constantly had 35 carries a couple times. That's the reason why he missed a lot of time his first 2 years. Like, last year, he only missed 1 game. He missed 3 games his rookie year, and then he missed half the season his second year. The reason why is because he was getting a bulk of the carries. He had to take time and plays off. Another reason why, like early on, his average per carry was horrible. If I'm not mistaken, his first 2 years, his rookie year he averaged 3.9, and then his second year he only averaged 3.3. Now this past year he averaged 4.3, and now his career average is balanced out to an even 4 yards carry, which is something that you could live with, especially from being a power back. He won't have to face that in Houston. And I'm not even saying you give him 30 carries in Houston. I'm just saying if you add him into the mix, you can run the ball 30 times. You can give him. You can give him maybe 15 carries. You can give David Johnson 10 carries, and you can give Duke Johnson 10 carries. You can give Duke Johnson 5 carries. Then boom, you ran the ball 30 times. You just mixed up the running style, and nobody's getting over 15 carries a game. You're not running nobody in the ground, and just like I said, one he will have I think Jacksonville had a decent offensive line his first 2 years. I wouldn't say his offensive line is better. Now he does have a better left tackle. He does have a better left tackle with Larry Tunsil. So maybe just having a superstar left tackle can help out the offensive line. And that might be a better situation that he's used to. But definitely with the quarterback and the receivers he has, that box is not going to be loaded, and he's going to be able to run and hit holes. Because that's my problem with David Johnson. When I watch the tape, he doesn't hit the hole like he wants to hit the hole. He hits the hole very timid, very scared, like he's scared to get hit. You can talk about what the Texans have put out on Instagram and on Twitter and on their website. That's at practice on 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 when they're not even tackling nobody. They just basically doing this. They playing 2-hand touch. That's what they showing us. And people are like, oh yeah, he looked good. I don't buy that shit. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's not a preseason game. If it was a preseason game and he looked good, different. If it was practice against another team, like how we used to practice against the Saints and against the Patriots and stuff like that, if it was or against the Cowboys, if it's a practice against another team and he's looking like that, cool. I'm with that. I could buy into that. Not against his own team. I'm sorry. I just really don't buy it. But I do think if you add Leonard Fournette, he could actually boast his way in, because I know he can break tackles. I know he can hit the hole. I've watched him. If the hole is there, he's going to hit it with authority. And I think that would be a very perfect match. And to be honest, if you want to get real creative, especially we talk about Tim Kelly, we talk about Deshaun Watson, about how they supposed to be all on the same page, you have Leonard Fournette. You come out there with both Leonard Fournette and David Johnson. Now the defense don't know what you're going to do. Are they going to run the ball with David Johnson? Are they going to run the ball with Leonard Fournette? Are they going to throw the ball to David Johnson? Are they going to throw the ball to Leonard Fournette? Are they going to throw the ball downfield? Are they going to run with Deshaun? It's a lot of different things that you can do offensively, extremely creative, once you start adding other pieces onto this offense. And I think that Leonard Fournette can help change that, because I mean, yeah, true enough, you could do the same thing with Duke Johnson and David Johnson. But like I told y'all before, and I like Duke Johnson a whole lot. Don't get me wrong. Duke Johnson is a slot receiver playing running back. Like, he is more effective as a slot receiver. Yes, I do want Duke Johnson to get carries because he needs to keep the defense honest, because you don't need, soon as Duke Johnson come out there, the defense know, oh, it's a passing play because Duke Johnson out there. So he does need to carry the ball some just to keep the defense on his toes, to let them know, okay, they might run it with this motherfucker, so we can't just always expect pass and always play the pass. But I don't want him to get a bulk of the carries because he's not going to be a guy who splits. He's not the running back, definitely not a full-time running back. And I don't think he's a running back that you split even full carries. So that means most of the carries are going to go to David Johnson. And like I said, I don't trust that. I really don't. I don't trust that. Now, if you add Leonard Fournette in the mix, you can spread the ball out 3 ways evenly. You can lean a little bit more towards Leonard Fournette, then give David Johnson something, and give Duke a little piece. Or you can split between David and Duke, David and Leonard Fournette 50-50, and then give Duke some special assignments. But like I said, it's a lot of things offensively creative that you could do. I'm just going in my mind and just thinking about all different type of formations, especially because I was surprised to see that Leonard Fournette was at least decent. He had 76 catches, so I was expecting, before I looked at the stats, he probably had like 15 catches or 25 catches or something like that. I didn't expect him to have over 40 plus or 50 plus catches. So when I seen that he has damn near, he's 24 catches away from having 100 catches in the season, I'm like, all right, cool. So he's caught the ball a lot. Like, on some teams, 76 catches is the second receiver. Like, you can go through some offenses, even in the spread NFL, you can go to some offenses and throw 76 catches out there and be like, oh, hey, he already the second receiver. If I'm not mistaken, I don't even know if Fuller has caught. I know Fuller has missed a lot of time, but I don't even know if Fuller's had a 76 catch season. I mean, he might have, but I don't even think Fuller's had a 76 catch season before. So he has caught the football quite regularly, and like I say, and I was concerned about those yards per carry, because I knew he had a very low yards per carry. But when I looked at the stats last year, seeing that he averaged over 4 plus, it was like I said, it was 4.3 yards per carry as a running back. He's a great ball handler. In 3 years, he only has 3 fumbles and only lost 1. He's only fumbled the ball 3 times and has lost 1. And like I said, he's a big bruising back. Like I said, I look at David Johnson. I see David Johnson as a big back, but he don't feel like a big back. Yeah, I mean, when you see the pictures and you see him, like, oh, he ripped up, oh yeah, I'm ready to run through somebody. But when you watch him play, he don't look like that type of running back. When you watch Leonard Fournette, you know Leonard Fournette is about to truck some people. You know he about to run over some people. He about to stiff. He's about to do some damage. He's about to inflict some pain on to the defense as an offensive player. That's something that the Houston Texans definitely need. And actually, I think that's actually something that Bill O'Brien looks for. I think it's a perfect type of running back for Bill O'Brien. That's the running back that Bill O'Brien would like to have. Like, I would like to have a good smash mouth running back. Remember, when we signed Lamar Miller put on weight, bulked up, and we was running Lamar Miller on the ground like he was that type of back. And then we realized that Lamar Miller is not effective in that way. And we never used Lamar Miller and to all the Lamar Miller fans out there who are out there, we never used Lamar Miller in the way we should have used him, but he still had bad vision. I don't care what nobody says, he still had bad vision, and that was one of my main concerns with Lamar Miller. And and the way we used him. And also at the end of the day, he just had bad vision. Now, when you come to Leonard Fournette, you can use Leonard Fournette in that way. You can use him because that's the type of style that he wants to play, that he needs to play. That big, bruising, short yards, goal line time. If you have Leonard Fournette, goal line is not going to be a problem. With Deshaun Watson able to run and do what he does, with Leonard Fournette able to get short yards, and then how big Jordan Thomas is, how big Darren Fells is, the red zone is not a problem. Remember back in 2018, we used to get to the red zone regularly. We used to get to the red zone very regular, but we always had to kick field goals. Or we end up not getting no points at all with Deshaun Watson. It was very frustrating and very problematic. You're not going to have that situation, especially if you get somebody like Leonard Fournette. That situation is gone. That whole, we can't score. Remember, we went a whole season last year. It couldn't score on the first drive. I don't count the one with A.J. McCarron. We didn't score on the first drive into the game, into the last game of the season against the Chiefs in the playoffs when it kind of was a busted coverage, but they bit on Will Fuller's route, and Ken Steele was able to run wide open, was able to walk into the end zone. Other than that, we've never scored. Deshaun Watson did not score at all on the first drive, which is extremely bad. How do you have a superstar quarterback and not score on the first drive? How you have Hopkins and you have Fuller, you have all these weapons and stuff like that, and you can't score on the first drive? Extremely problematic. But that was last season. Hopefully this season a little bit different with the weapons that we've added. But I'm just saying that won't be the problem with Leonard Fournette. And I'm not saying that Leonard Fournette is going to be 1,000-yard rushing and be top 5 in rushing. I'm not saying that. Because I think if you do bring in Leonard Fournette, you should bring him in and he should still split. I think he should get the bulk of the carries. But I do think that he should split time and also give some of the workload to David Johnson. And I do think that he can help save this rushing attack. But if I'm going to be completely honest, do I think the Houston Texans are going to sign him? No, I don't. I will be shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Shocked. I'll be shocked if Leonard Fournette is a Houston Texan before the season starts. I will be shocked. Because it's just something that the Houston Texans do not. This is a move that the Houston Texans do not make. Should they make this? Absolutely. And most of the time, the move that they should make is the moves that they don't make. The moves that we want them to make. And I think most of the fans be on the same page. Most of the moves that we want them to make is because it's not just because we just want names and we want flash and stuff like that. It's because they are legitimate moves that they should actually make. It makes sense. And it might make too much sense. It might make too much sense that they don't even go for it. And I know that Bill O'Brien and Doug Marrone are best friends and stuff like that. And, Doug Marrone might throw a bug in Bill O'Brien's head, like, don't mess with him. He this, he that, he this. And like I said, that's when you gotta kind of look in the mirror, like, man, everybody forcing their way out of Jacksonville. Is it really the players? Just all these players, just quote unquote bad players, bad seeds, or is it the way the organization is being ran? We talk about the Texans organization, but it seems like everybody in Jacksonville is doing whatever they can to force their way out. They're doing whatever they can to force their way out. It's everybody. You have a team that went to the AFC Championship game and had the AFC had the Patriots down the ropes in the fourth quarter, had them down. Y'all lose that game. Y'all walk around that whole all season talking cash money stuff. Remember the whole schedule when they had everybody on their schedule? When it was basically babies win all their attire. They basically was laughing in everybody's face like they coming taking over. They was talking cash money shit. They was talking cash money. Cash money. And then 2 years later, they all gone. They all forcing their way up out of there. And it was character this and this and that and this and this and this. 2 + 2 don't equal 4 in this situation. It ain't adding up. It's really not. So that's why you got to look at it. It's something going on with that organization. It's something going on with that culture over there. I know a lot of this stuff had to do with Coughlin, but then they got rid of Coughlin. But it's still like, even after they got rid of Coughlin, people still trying to force their way out. I don't really know what the situation is. I'm not in Jacksonville. I don't cover Jacksonville. And I don't really care what the situation is. But if it's a situation that can help benefit the Texans, by all means, let's benefit the Texans. And I do think that Leonard Fournette would benefit the Texans. Now, I said, he might not even have 1,000 yards if you bring him in, because I think he would probably be splitting carries. But I already know they're going to try to make this whole David Johnson thing work. I mean, you just call it spade a spade. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to make this whole David Johnson thing work because they traded Hop for him. I think he's being paid the fourth. He's the fourth highest running back getting paid per year. They're going to try to make this work. And it's extremely frustrating. And I know Deshaun got all these weapons on the outside, and I think he's still going to have a bomb season. I think he's still going to have a MVP caliber season, but his job would be so much easier if he had a strong running game to lean on. And I think he would have a strong running game to lean on. And I think it's even, of course, best case scenario, if we would have a player like a Christian McCaffrey or like a Arian Foster in his prime back in the backfield, but a situation where you can mix and match and throw Leonard Fournette out there on some plays, throw David Johnson out there on some plays, throw them both out there together. If you really want to get funky and crazy, throw Duke in the mix and have all three of them out there together. If you really want to be real creative, if you really want to be real mad scientists, that would definitely help Deshaun Watson. It would help make the offense be extremely potent and be extremely explosive and make people, defensive coordinators and DBs scratch their head because they don't know where that ball is going to, because you can throw it on the outside, you can hand it on the inside, you can run it with your quarterback, you do whatever. But, like I said, it might make too much sense. So, like, share, subscribe, comment below, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.